Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling consistency. Everyone talks about it, but actually mastering it. That's another story.
Yeah.
It's the holy grail, right?
Yeah.
Everyone says, just be consistent. But what does that even mean when life gets chaotic? Or maybe your brain feels like it's, on a different planet sometimes.
Yeah.
We've all been there, promising a new routine, feeling all fired up.
And then, poof, motivation gone after a few days.
Exactly.
It's true. And what's often missed is that consistency isn't like a one-size-fits-all thing.
Right, yeah.
So our sources for this deep dive, they go way beyond the surface stuff. We're looking at neuroscience, psychology, practical tools, especially for people who face unique challenges like adults with ADHD. Our mission today really is to distill all that down into actionable insights for you.
Insights to help make consistency, well, consistent.
That's the goal.
And we've cast a pretty wide net for this one. We've pulled from habit science experts, James Clear, people like that.
Yep.
Clinical resources on ADHD too, personal stories, and even some deeper philosophical takes on what keeps us going long term.
It's a rich mix.
It really is. Quite the journey ahead. Okay, so first things first. Let's challenge something common. We often wait to feel motivated, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. I'll start when I feel like it's trapped.
Yeah. But motivation, as one of our sources really nails, it's fickle. It's a burst. Great for kickstarting something big.
Right, like a project launch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But not reliable for the long haul.
Yeah.
It just fades. So if motivation isn't the answer, what is?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's not motivation we need day to day, it's discipline.
Uh-oh, the D word.
Yeah, but hang on. Discipline here isn't about, being super rigid or punishing yourself.
Right.
It's more the ability to pursue your goals consistently, even when temptation pops up or you're just feeling tired. It's self-discipline.
Self-discipline. How does that work?
Well, our sources show it really rests on 3 pillars: routine, reminders, and rewards. Establish the routine, set up the reminders, get the rewards right.
Routine, reminders, rewards.
Got it. So what does this mean for actually building habits, like practically?
Well, for starters,
Let's just completely ditch that 21-day habit myth, can we?
please. Yes. That idea is everywhere, but the science, it tells a very different story. We looked at a big systematic review.
Yeah.
Habit formation takes much, much longer for most people. On average, think 106 to 154 days.
Wow. Okay. That's like 4 to 5 months.
Exactly. 3 to 5 months on average. And the range is huge. Some people click in 4 days, others take almost a year, like 335 days.
So it's definitely a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely. Patience is key.
Yeah.
Which, brings up the obvious question. Why is it so darn hard? Why is consistency such a struggle?
Yeah. What's working against us?
Well, a few things. Our brains, fundamentally, love the familiar. New habits feel weird, uncomfortable.
They take effort. Right. And unlike, say, scrolling social media or grabbing a snack, new habits rarely give you that instant reward. So it's easy to just drop off.
The immediate gratification thing.
Totally. Plus, our environments are full of triggers pulling us off course, distractions everywhere.
And then there's perfectionism, right? That all or nothing trap.
Oh, that's a big one. You miss one day, feel like a failure, and just quit, instead of seeing it as a tiny blip.
Yeah, I've done that.
We all have. And even just, as James Clear calls it, the boredom of training every day. Showing up when it's not exciting anymore, that's tough.
That boredom is so real. So how do we make it less of a grind? How do we make consistency stick?
It really comes down to understanding compounding.
Yeah.
Small actions done consistently.
Like investing small amounts.
Exactly like that. A tiny bit every day. It adds up massively over time. Think about it. One 20-minute jog doesn't make you fit overnight.
Right.
And missing one doesn't wreck everything either. But do that 20-minute jog daily. Those small efforts build and build. They shape who you become.
It's the steady drip, not the flood.
Precisely. The tiny effort, repeated, makes all the difference. Okay, let's get really practical now. How do we build this? At the core, transforming that conscious effort into something automatic relies on the 3 R's.
Routine, reminder, reward. You mentioned those.
Exactly. Routine, reminder, and reward. When you get these working together, the behavior shifts. It goes from something you have to force yourself to do.
It's something that just happens.
Yeah, almost like second nature, automaticity.
Okay, let's unpack routine then. Our sources say something interesting. Every day is easier than most days. That feels backwards.
It does sound counterintuitive, right? But think about it. When something is a daily practice, it stops being a decision you have to make each time.
It removes the should I or shouldn't I debate.
Exactly. It becomes part of your identity, part of your day's structure. It's evidence of who you are.
Okay, that makes sense.
And a brilliant strategy for this. Fire in the act, grace in the amount.
Fire in the act, grace in the amount. Love that. What does it mean?
It means you commit to doing the thing every single day. That's the fire. But you give yourself grace on how much you do.
So showing up is non-negotiable, but the intensity can vary.
Perfect. Use an A, B, C goal system. A is your ambitious goal, B is your solid base goal, and C is your absolute minimum viable effort.
Like C could be just putting on your running shoes and stepping outside for 2 minutes.
Exactly. Because even anything above 0 compounds, the main thing is to show up, break the 0. Now, what's fascinating here is the power of environment. It's like this invisible hand shaping everything we do.
How so?
Well, to build good habits, you need to make the cues obvious. Make it easy to do the right thing.
Like leaving your gym bag by the door.
Perfect example. Or if you want to write first thing, open your laptop to a blank page the night before. Make the starting point frictionless.
Okay. And for bad habits?
Flip it. Make the cues invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. Reduce exposure to the triggers.
So if your phone distracts you,
Put it in another room. Delete the tempting apps during work hours. Add friction. Make it harder to do the unwanted thing.
makes sense.
And speaking of environment and making things easier, mornings are often a cheat code.
A cheat code. Why?
Your willpower is generally highest early in the day. Fewer decisions made, less fatigue, and less chance for unexpected chaos to derail your plans.
Get it done before the day gets crazy.
Pretty much.
Okay. Environment setup is key. But what about just starting? That initial push can be so hard. Overcoming procrastination.
Right, that inertia. Well, the 5-minute rule is fantastic here.
The 5-minute rule.
You just commit to doing the task for 5 minutes. That's it. Often you find it's not so bad. Maybe it takes less time than you thought, or the Zygarnik effect kicks in.
Zygarnik effect. What's that?
It's this cool psychological thing where our brains remember unfinished tasks better than finished ones. It creates a sort of mental itch to complete things.
So starting for 5 minutes might actually make my brain want to finish it.
Often, yes, your mind nudges you. And another great tool is habit stacking.
Habit stacking. Linking habits together.
Exactly. Attaching a new habit you want to build onto one you already do without thinking.
Like meditating for 2 minutes right after I brush my teeth.
Perfect. Or like the example in our sources, updating your teaching notes for 5 minutes immediately after you finish a teaching session.
Mhm.
Leverage existing routines. Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, that reward system is absolutely crucial. It's how habits get wired in.
The dopamine hit.
Precisely. When you achieve even a small consistency goal, like hitting your C goal, your brain releases dopamine. That feels good, and it reinforces the neural pathway for that habit.
So the immediate reward is key, not just hoping for the long-term payoff.
Absolutely critical. Long-term goals are great, but they don't keep your brain, hot and bothered in the early days. You need those small, immediate wins.
Like Jerry Seinfeld's don't break the chain thing.
That's a prime example. Marking an X on the calendar each day he wrote jokes. That visual progress, that was the immediate reward. Seeing the chain grow, powerful stuff.
Okay, so we've got routines, reminders, rewards, environment. But let's be real. You're going to miss a day sometimes.
Yeah.
It just happens.
It's inevitable. Life happens.
What do you do then? I always feel like I have to do double the next day to make up for it.
Oh, stop right there. That's the trap. Our sources are crystal clear.
Yeah.
Never try to make up for a miss by doubling down.
Really? Why not?
It almost always leads to burnout. It makes the habit feel like punishment. You miss once, then the next day feels overwhelming, and boom, you quit entirely.
Just get back on track.
Exactly. Extend yourself some grace. Acknowledge the miss, don't beat yourself up, and just show up the next day. Focus on the overall positive trend, not perfect daily streaks.
You can never bet against the person who just keeps showing up.
That sums it up beautifully. Consistency over perfection. Now, this raises an important question because for folks with ADHD, all these general challenges, they often get amplified significantly.
Right. The unique brain wiring.
Exactly. Executive dysfunction is a big factor that impacts managing thoughts, feelings, actions, leading to easy distraction, forgetfulness, feeling overwhelmed. And then there's time blindness. That's a really profound difficulty in perceiving time, estimating how long things take, feeling the passage of time. It can make sticking to routines feel almost impossible, chaotic.
Wow, okay. And that's where it gets really interesting for ADHD brains, right?
Yeah.
Because the standard advice might not work the same way.
Totally. Our sources point out a higher sensitivity to boredom. Tasks need to be stimulating, novel, engaging to hold attention.
So just do it, it doesn't really cut it.
Not usually. And they're also more sensitive to dopamine deficits. This means those immediate rewards we talked about, they go from helpful to pretty much essential for consistency. Delayed gratification is much harder.
It's a different operating system, in a way.
You could say that. It requires different strategies. But what's fascinating here is how adapting those strategies can make a huge difference. It's not impossible, just different.
Like what? What adaptations work well?
Externalizing organization is key. Since internal working memory can be a challenge, you dump the info out.
Sticky notes everywhere.
Sticky notes, planners, phone reminders, smart speakers yelling at you, whatever works to get it out of your head and into the environment.
Okay, makes sense.
And breaking tasks down, way down, into micro steps.
Hmm.
This helps fight that task paralysis, that feeling of overwhelm.
So instead of clean the room,
Think, make the bed, or clear one surface, or put 5 things away. Tiny, manageable steps.
so what does this all mean tool-wise for someone navigating ADHD?
Well, timers and alarms are huge, not just for reminders, but for building that time awareness, Pomodoro technique, things like that.
Right, breaking work into timed chunks.
Exactly. Gamification can be amazing too. Apps like Habitica or Finch that turn your to-do list into a game, that hits the novelty and immediate reward buttons hard.
Making chores fun, basically.
Kind of. Leveraging game mechanics. Body doubling is another interesting one.
Body doubling.
Just working alongside someone else. In person or even virtually on a video call. Their quiet presence provides a sort of accountability and focus anchor.
I anticipate.
And finally, reframing. Shifting shoulds and have-toss into wants. Connecting the task, even a boring one, to a value or an enjoyable outcome you care about.
Finding your personal why for the task.
Exactly. The bottom line for ADHD brains is that consistency often takes longer. It requires more trial and error, more adaptation.
So patience and self-compassion are extra important.
Crucial, acknowledge the effort. Give yourself credit seriously. Sometimes just for surviving the day with ADHD is a win worth recognizing.
Yeah.
The goal is never perfection. It's steady progress, finding what works for you. If a routine isn't sticking, it's not your failure. It just means that specific routine isn't the right fit. Time to adjust, try something else.
That's a much kinder approach.
It has to be.
Okay, let's peel back another layer now. We've covered the how, the strategies, the tools, the ADHD adaptations, but for change that really lasts, that feels deeply fulfilling,
Yeah.
we need to talk about the why. This takes us into personal values, identity, deeper stuff. Who do you actually want to be? What matters most beyond just checking boxes?
This is where it gets really profound. What's fascinating here is this idea that purpose, real purpose, doesn't come from outside. Not from achievements or job titles or even roles like parent or partner.
Yeah.
Those things can be great, but they aren't the source.
So where does it come from?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the source of value is you, your consciousness. It's what you project onto experiences that gives them meaning.
Okay, say more about that.
Our sources explain that chasing goals without being connected to your internal values, that can lead to feeling empty, even if you succeed. You got the thing, but it doesn't feel meaningful because the value wasn't truly yours. It wasn't aligned.
Like climbing the wrong ladder.
Exactly. External roles change, achievements fade, but your core self, your ability to assign value, that's constant.
So what does this all mean for finding that why? How do we figure out these values? Our sources have this cool breakdown, right, into levels.
Yeah, it's a useful model. Low, medium, and ultra high levels.
Low level is like basic needs, safety, comfort.
Right. Essential for survival, for well-being, but not where deep fulfillment comes from. You don't want to get stuck only pursuing comfort.
Okay, and ultra high. That sounds good.
Ultra high is stuff like fulfillment, confidence, purpose itself. Beautiful ideals, but they're too vague, too abstract to aim for directly. How do you do fulfillment today?
Right. It's an outcome, not an action.
Exactly. So the sweet spot where the magic happens is the medium level values.
Medium level? Like what?
Things like passion, success, defined by you, competence, mastery, adventure, connection, contribution, things that are grounded, clear, attainable through action. You can actually pursue competence or adventure.
And pursuing those leads to the ultra high feelings.
That's the key insight. Consistently acting on your medium level values is what creates the experience of fulfillment, confidence, and purpose. This raises an important question, though. How does knowing your values translate back to daily consistency?
Yeah, what's the link?
It's about identity. When you truly believe you are what you value, not just that you like courage, but that you are courageous, something shifts.
You embody the value.
Exactly. Your self-esteem stabilizes because it's based on who you are, not just what you achieve. This is about enriching your map of reality, aligning your internal self-concept with those values.
So if I believe I am a disciplined person,
You'll naturally find ways to act with discipline. It becomes less of a struggle against yourself and more an expression of who you are. This internal alignment creates this deep inner sense of purpose. It's not dependent on external praise or results. That makes you incredibly resilient. Setbacks don't crush you because your core value, your identity, remains intact.
that internal fuel,
Yeah.
it sounds much more sustainable.
It is. It's the ultimate source of consistency.
And for people who want to really dig into aligning that internal map, there are specific techniques, right? From things like NLP.
Yeah, neurolinguistic programming offers some powerful tools, techniques like the swish pattern, for example.
That's what fine.
It's a way to basically reprogram your automatic response to a trigger. You link the trigger for an unwanted behavior to a compelling image of your desired state or identity. It helps create an almost automatic shift towards the new valued behavior.
Like replacing a default setting in your brain.
That's a great way to put it. Or remapping an old thought pattern. It's all about challenging those limiting beliefs and perceptions, structuring your inner world to fully support the person you want to become, the values you hold dear. So, if we connect this all back to the bigger picture, whether you're trying to build a simple habit like drinking more water, or striving for consistent action towards a huge life goal, or even redefining your purpose, the journey is deeply personal.
Mm.
It really demands patience, trying different things, finding what works for you, and above all, being kind to yourself along the way. Self-compassion.
Yeah.
The key insights today, I think, really remind us that true, lasting consistency comes from a few places. Understanding your unique brain, using the right tools effectively, and crucially, aligning those daily actions with your deepest, most authentic values.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Maybe the next time you find yourself struggling with consistency, you could try asking a different question. Instead of what's wrong with me,
Mm.
maybe ask,
Mm.
what does this habit, this action need from me right now? Given my brain, my energy, my life. And how can I connect it not just to the task I need to finish, but to the person I truly want to become?
That's a powerful reframe.
What tiny step, maybe just one, could you take today